Welcome to Club Chit Chat with your DJ, Miss Sophia, right here. We are your radio. We're your radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride, baby. Yes, what we are. Hey. Y'all know who that was, honey. Don't play. That was Sugar Walls by Jackie O, honey. But guess what, y'all? I said if she wasn't here in 3 minutes, I was canceling her. She made it, baby. Milan Garcon is in the building. Hey, niece.
What's good, Auntie Sophia? But don't even try to pump the tea like that's what they gave. Now, you said, girl, this car gonna come get you. It's gonna come get you at 2:30. Y'all, the car dropped me off. I'm from New York City. The car dropped me off in Marietta, Atlanta. I walked here from Marietta. So,
yeah, we are downtown. Marietta is like 20 minutes away. You did not walk from
You're
Marietta.
tagging. I pumped. Had to get here.
You got here, honey. Now, if you walk from Marietta to downtown Atlanta and you were only 15 minutes late, then I applaud you.
I'm a runway girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Milan Garcon is here from the season 2 of Legendary, honey, the House of Garçon. How you feel about the outcome of the show?
I think the outcome of the show was fabulous. I was on 10 out of 10 episodes, so I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
How many episodes were you on?
10 out of 10, love.
And you were the one that was keeping the Garçons in the competition.
We're not saying that.
Oh, we're not?
No.
Oh, we can.
This is what I said.
Stasha was in the way.
Oh, absolutely not. Stasha is the reason that we made it to the top 3. Like in real life, with us not having any like actual performance girls that were on the show, and we really only have a select few in our house.
I'm just messing with her because I know she listening.
No, I think we all had a part to play. Our house, we served a different purpose. We came to bring the girls ballroom because we cannot sit here and compete like we're a performance house. We're going to look dumb. We're going to look dumb at the end of the day trying to keep up with girls that have been doing this
for years.
For years. It's icon. Like, Arturo's an icon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to figure out what's your niche and how you can play that up. Like, play on all your strengths.
Right.
So I literally will always tell, anytime we were down, I'd be like, y'all, we have a purpose here. Our house, the way we are formulated, we are all diverse in body type, size, gender, across the board. So it's like, we got to show them all of those things because all of that is present in ballroom. And this is still a ballroom competition show.
And how long have you been involved in ballroom?
I have been walking balls for 3 years now. I first joined the House of
3 years? Just 3 years?
Just 3 years.
And you've already been on Legendary.
Well, yeah. I mean, now, it's been girls who've been on Legendary that, started their ballroom careers on Legendary. But that's a part of ballroom. Everybody has a start. Everybody starts somewhere. Some people start at major ball. Some people start at a OTA, a mini ball of Vogue nights. It just depends on that person's experience that night because you really got to feel it.
Okay.
I be feeling it.
So you haven't been with any other house? You just been with the House of Garçon?
No. So actually, when I joined the ballroom scene in 2018, I moved to New York in March from Cleveland, Ohio. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
And in Cleveland, there is a Midwest ballroom scene, and Cleveland is not like a Detroit or Chicago where, at least for me, it wasn't. I didn't really have access to the LGBTQ plus community in Cleveland when I was younger.
Right.
So I really didn't know about like the balls and stuff that were going on. So when I moved to New York, that was like something that I knew I needed to be a part of because it was just in me. Every little gay child watches Paris is Burning and all that. So it's just like I knew that community was out there, but I just didn't know how to find it to experience it for myself. So that's one of the first things I did, and it was actually through a gig. I was booked, and I was like, oh my God. And then they called OTA Runway. It was like a mini ball, like a mini function. They called OTA Runway. I got out on the floor. I was like feeling it, and then I was addicted. And I went there with some garçons, and then from there, the rest was history. Like by May, I was in the house.
So Pose, didn't they film a lot of Pose in New York?
Yes, they did. I was a background actor on season 2 for Pose, and they film a lot of it in New York. Like, I know the first season, that ballroom was actually a ballroom. It was huge, so that was like, they had to fill that space. So like, as the seasons went on and the budget got bigger, they created their own space. So, but everything was still shot in New York. Absolutely.
And a lot of kids that come to the balls, they come from broken homes. So what is your story in, being introduced to the ballroom scene?
Yeah, so my story is I didn't come from a broken home, but I also didn't come out until I was a freshman in college. But I mean, The girls knew. I'm not gonna sit here and act like the people didn't know, but
you didn't confirm it.
I didn't confirm nor deny. Well, I did deny a few times, but the people knew. I still got picked on for being feminine and all of that stuff. And as I just got into like my senior year of high school, I kind of cared a bit less, but I still wasn't confirming anything. And then once I got to college, I went to college at Lincoln University, the first degree granting HBCU, established in 1854.
Go in.
Oh, yes. I get it from my mother. But now, so I went to school, and that's like 45 minutes south of Philly. Mm-hmm. So I was like becoming an East Coast person. Little did I know, I was just like seeing all of these different experiences and these different expressions of what it meant to be in the LGBTQ plus community, just walking around my campus. Mm-hmm. And everybody was paying it. It was regular. So I'm just like, okay, that's cute. We like that. I'm just going to be myself. This was like my second week in school. Uh-huh. And I'm like, I'm going to be myself. And I went out there with my best friend. We both ran track. I ran track for like 10 years up until my junior year in college. But yeah, I just kind of just started living my life. So that's how that happened. Then I moved to New York. I got in the scene, and yeah, I be walking.
You ran track. What did you run?
I ran the 400. I was a mid-distance sprinter. Yes. Yes, I was. I used to run the boys into a mud hole, and they used to be so mad because I was always this skinny. I always paid the weight room. I will always be just like on the girl side practicing with them, and I just be talking, keying, having a good time. I'm not doing it's not going to work. Sophia, I tried so hard when I was like 14, 15, 16 to get muscles and get bigger. Right. It just wasn't for me, Yeah,
you said
God had other plans.
You was practicing with the girls, then you go there and run with the boys and dust them.
And dust them. It was one time in college, I ran on a 4x4 relay. We were running at Penn Relays. And I don't know if any of them watching.
What anchor? What were you? First, second, third?
No, I was third leg. And I was pissed because it was a whole team. Our Pop-Off had, rest in peace, Abe, but he had false started, so it just kind of shook us. It shook us a little bit. So then we got back in the race, and then our second leg, I don't know what happened. We were so far behind, and I made up like half the loss. We were like in the back, and then our final leg like did a good job. The anchor did an amazing job.
Did y'all win?
No, we didn't win.
Y'all came in what play?
No, those were the prelims. We almost made it to the finals. I think that if we wouldn't have false started in the beginning, it would have been a little different because the energy would have been, it would have been given, let's just go. Now we was given shook, like scared. Mm-hmm. But I ran the fastest split because when I get angry, it's another type.
It's another type of running.
It's another type of rage. It's another type of race I'm running, and I'm gonna win. So I ran the fastest split, and they didn't want to believe it. Like when I tell you, like the coach came up to me after, was like, "Oh my God, you did so good!" Da 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 da. Told me my split, and they literally were like, "Nah, they didn't run that. And I'm like, "Yes, I did." So I literally after that, I stopped running track because I said, "You know what? If y'all don't see it, I'm gonna go get in media." And then that's literally how I got to where I am today. I started working at Fox 29 Philly, interning there, because I couldn't really intern and be a student athlete at the same time because 2-a-day practices, how I'm going to get up at 3, 4 in the morning, be gone till 12, it wasn't going to work out. So it actually freed up space for me to, become the girl.
I saw the interview that you did.
Oh, the one on Fox?
Yes.
When I had on the green.
Yes.
That was
amazing. I was like so impressed. It was just like, you telling your story, and then it's just like you were interning there, and then you end up going to the show Legendary, and then they have always been supportive of you and your LGBTQ status, and then it's just like, you come full circle, and you go and you become who you are, and then you go back and they interview you, and like, hey, wow.
I was gagging. Like, Mike and Alex, shout out to them. I literally was like an intern for them. I was there. I used to get their coffee, auntie, like literally. And I interned in the winter. So me and the other intern, we would go up the street, go to the Starbucks. We would get the order. And when you're interning, you think that even if you do it right, there had to have been something that you did wrong. It's like that bit of imposter syndrome. So we would just always be freaking out at Starbucks. Oh my God, it's taking so long. We got to get back. We got to get the gas. We would deal with celebrities and stuff. I met so many people working there, and it really shaped how I saw myself in the industry of media and multimedia. So forever thankful.
And we're going to take a break, but before we go to break, I just want to talk about, since we were talking about you running track, the young lady who was disqualified because she was, smoking marijuana. Yeah. She tested positive for marijuana. What do you think about that whole situation?
Here's how I honestly feel like marijuana just shouldn't be illegal. The fact that it's legal some places and not legal in others, and it's legal in some places in the United States, but then it's against some rules that I don't like it. But also, I'm the type of person, I know no matter what I'm going through, if there's something, I'm very goal oriented, and it's like not many things. And I'm also not the most like emotional person either, and I know she was going through a lot at that point in time. And I know me, I'm good at compartmentalizing. I can take something and put it in a certain space in my brain and pay it until it's time, and that's not healthy. I'm not saying that that's a good thing to do, but for me, I don't think that I would have done something that I knew was against the rules that would have jeopardized it, because I would have rather escaped and been doing the Olympics and all of that to keep my mind off of it. But again, I know that that's not healthy to just like not deal with your issues. But that's just me personally. Do I feel like she's still valid in the choices that she made? Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day.
Right, I feel the same way you feel, and I feel like, you know, she shouldn't have been disqualified because what was the swimmer name that did all that?
Yeah, he had the bong and everything. And Michael Phelps.
Yeah, Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
They didn't take his gold medals. They didn't take none of those gold medals.
He paid some fines, and they paid it.
But it's just like you said, marijuana is legal in some places, some places it's not. But I think they kind of caught her off guard, because I don't know if they just surprised her with the drug test, because with a lot of people, I know she's not the only one. I know basketball players, you know, NBA players, NFL players, people that are trying to be drafted, and, you know, so many people, just regular people going on job interviews. And when they know they have a job interview coming up and they know that they're going to be tested for drugs, there are drugs out there that can, you know, take it where they can't detect that marijuana is in your body. Right. So I just say that, you know, she smoked her marijuana, and she know that if I didn't have a drug test coming up, I know I got to go and do such and such. But I don't think she had time to do all that. They caught off guard with this. I think it gave, when stuff happens in people's lives, there are people that literally just be out for you. And just like they won't let Simone, the gymnast, they just won't let her just be the best. Be the great. Like, they just won't let her be the best, and she's already the best. It's people that be waiting like, oh, something happened. Oh, she's going through some trauma right now. Well, you know, everybody don't deal with trauma well. Let's make sure that she's clean. Da, 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 da. You never know what's going on. And see, my brain, I go down rabbit holes. So I'll be like, I don't know. Somebody probably just thinking I'm doing something because no. And that is why I probably would have just compartmentalized it, try my best to get through it. But who knows how that would work for somebody. Yeah, but it's just like we tell people all the time, black people are built for it, tough, honey. Because this is like everything that Simone went through. The other white gymnasts, they went through the same thing with that doctor. And look at her. It hasn't affected her one bit. It has affected her, but it hasn't affected her performance. Absolutely. Ability. Whereas some of them, they are no longer competing in all of that. They be gagging. Yeah. They be gagging this thing. And they did the same thing to Serena and Venus. Yeah. You know, but, you know, it's
black women in sports is really... It's tough to just see, like, now that everybody's eyes are on it, it's tough to see just like, dang, you already have to deal with being a woman in sports and dealing with that whole stigma, but then being a black woman in sports, and they just literally just try and take you out your sport. Right. That's so, that's ridiculous.
I love your personality. I love your energy. I love you. You are the best, honey.
I love you.
I could talk to you all day.
No, for real. That's why I came here from Marietta. So I got to get there.
I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, hold it down right here. We are WERUradio. WERUradio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. Welcome to Club Chit Chat. Welcome to Club Chit Chat, Simone Garçon.
Who?
Simone. I'm going to change your name to Simone.
Oh, girl. You absolutely not.
Because the other girl walked from Marietta. No, this is Milan Garcon.
No, she came from Starbucks.
Welcome back to Club Chit Chat with your DJ, Miss Sophia, right here on WERUradio. WERUradio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. I'm in here with my special guest, my niece, the one and only, from Legendary Season 2, Milan Garcon. Hi, Milan.
What's good, Auntie? We in the building. What's up?
Yes, my niece done walked all the way from Marietta.
Yes, just for you.
In her Daisy Dukes.
Yes. And my don't forget about the mid-calf boots I got on. Okay, she's in the hill.
Oh, but before we get out of here, not that we're getting ready to go anywhere soon, but I just want you to let everybody know how they can follow you on social media.
Yeah, so everything. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at Milan Garcon, MILANGARCON.
Listen, you also getting ready to do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You've already started.
Yes. The pilot is out. It is in the mix with Milan Garcon. Yeah.
So how can they check that out?
They can check that out exclusively. If you have the little Jacked app, we're not. You can watch and listen wherever you please. But it is exclusively on the Jacked app. But you can also find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music, where they have their podcasts. So
And speaking of Amazon Music, you also sing.
Yes, I do a little something. I started a musical theater, so yeah, just a little bit. I sing. I can tap dance. What else I could do? I could type real fast. Yeah.
Oh, you Secretary Fish.
Yeah, Secretary Fish. That was actually my first internship gag.
So you did musical theater?
Yes.
What is the role you played?
I played George and the Drowsy Chaperone. He was like the best man in this wedding, and it was like this old time thing. I was in The Wedding Singer, which was a lot of fun. That was actually my first musical, and those were the only Broadway, off-Broadway musicals that I've done. I didn't do them Broadway, off-Broadway. I did them in summer stock and stuff, but those are musicals that people would know.
So what is it that you want to do now?
Now, I want to do exactly what I'm doing, but just, on a bigger scale. I want to continue growing my platform. I'm a media personality, so, I've always wanted my own talk show. I've always wanted to grace the girls in, daytime talk my entire life. I would like, a little stunt in late night because you can cuss a little bit more, talk about some more stuff. So, I really just want to, I want to be a household name when it comes to talk because that's what I love to do. I love to talk. Yeah.
So both of your parents still alive?
Yes, both of them are still alive.
So what is that relationship like?
They are divorced. They've been divorced since I was 3.
No, the relationship with you and your parents.
They made it.
Girl, they had you and it's like, honey, get out of here. I'm through.
Like, all right, girl,
she's here, we good.
No, so both of my relationships with my parents are amazing. They go to the same church. My dad is a minister. Yeah, it gives
what?
That. Yeah. It's a lot. Yes. My family's always been supportive. That's what I was supposed to be answering earlier. You asked me about my family earlier.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't come from a broken home. My family, I think they always knew, but again, I never confirmed. And when I finally came out to my mom and my dad actually gagged me. He was the last family member that I came out to, like literally a year after I came out to everybody else. Because I just wanted the news to trickle down. I wanted to just trickle down.
Soften the blow.
Just a little bit. But no, nobody told him. I'm like, well, y'all some good effed up family members because y'all was supposed to gossip and spill the tea. And y'all didn't help me out, but I guess, and they actually did help me out because they let me enjoy myself. But my dad actually cried and was like, I'm an open book. I'm very transparent. So once I start talking, I just go, especially where I'm comfortable. And like, I know I can be vulnerable. So as I'm telling him, like, my experiences and down to like thoughts of just, you thinking up, you growing up thinking, I'm going to hell and all of this stuff. So just like talking to him about stuff like that, he a minister, so hell is a serious place.
Hello.
He giving, oh my God, my child was thinking about going to hell now. So he actually cried and was like, I really wish that, you would have allowed me to be there for you as a father while you were going through those things. Like, he felt robbed. Like, he couldn't be the best protective dad, because I wasn't being open. And I was, but, grew up in a world where, it wasn't okay to just be open. It's all about self-preservation. And kids, we know how to make sure that you conceal until you're somewhere where you feel safe enough to do that, or you are pushed to do that.
So you say your dad and your mom, they go to the same church and he's a minister. Is he a minister at the church that your mom attends?
Yes, both sides of my family go to the same church. They give it. I'm not leaving either. But they're very cordial. They get along. I think over time, of course, growing up, you don't know all of the small drama and stuff that goes on. But from my perspective, and then as I've gotten older and have understood what kind of went on with my mom and dad's relationship and how it affected both sides of my family and how they interacted together at the same church, they good.
So listen, since you said that, I want to ask you, because like when I was growing up, I was so protected by my parents. I was so protected that I didn't know that I was protected until I got out on my own. And then I assumed that all kids were protected, like I was protected growing up. So what are the things that, you took for granted growing up and it took you becoming an adult and going out into society on your own to find out that, everybody didn't have it like I had it?
one thing, well, it was actually one of my ex-boyfriends. I was gagging at his coming out experience because he didn't get a chance to come out, and that's something like I will say everybody around me at least respected. I don't know if they respected me enough or they just respected the situation enough that like nobody ever outed me. Like I never had like a family situation that was like just messed up because they kind of figured I was gay. Nobody tried to like beat it out of me or anything like that. I got bullied in school for being super feminine, but it wasn't like, I think I felt more singled out than I actually was because it was other gay people that were going through like the same thing at my school, but I was just like giving, I don't see them because I'm not gay. But I think that getting older, his experience, it was a picture got out to the whole school. You know, people have these crazy experiences where they are outed or they are pushed to a point where they have to come out and then they leave and, you know, home life is no more. So I definitely feel like that was taken for granted because I wasn't aware of other people's experiences when I was growing up. And it wasn't until I left Cleveland and moved and started making different bonds and relationships with people and sharing and just being completely like aware of my community and what everybody's going through and doing the work to make sure that I'm aware and knowing what the hell we're going through. It wasn't until then that I realized like, wow, it was pretty chill for you. It was pretty chill, you know? So.
Right. And, you know, like growing up and stuff, and it's just like I'm so impressed with you being young and as knowledgeable as you are about a whole lot of different things. And then to know that you apply yourself educational-wise and all that good stuff. And so it's just like growing up, who are some of the people that motivated you to become your best you?
My mother, just seeing her work ethic, it was instilled in me. To the point where now I kind of tell her, I'm like, I wish you weren't always such a busybody because I can't sit down. I don't understand taking a day off. And when I do, I feel like I'm going crazy because, oh my God, I'm not doing something. I'm not being productive. And it's not like she was like, be productive. But I'm somebody, I pick up on things. And my mother, you know, we went through a recession. She lost 2 jobs and almost lost the house. I would have never known that it was that deep until I got older. But just even through all of that, she was always working. She was always on some board in the community. She was always a part of the drama ministry at church. She's a soprano in the church choir. Like, she led a very full life. And it just showed me that you don't have to just do one thing. You don't have to just have a 9 to 5. You can have these different things that you're talented and skilled in, and you can make it work for you. In all of those, you should always be doing the things that you enjoy and want to do while you are trying to provide for yourself and your family. Right. So that is really what let me know, well, whatever I want to do, I can do that plus some. So I've always been that way. I've always done multiple things at once and somehow blended it together to keep progression. Like,
yeah, you're going to get me in trouble because I said I was going to watch the clock and everything, and now look at that, and we're almost there. I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, holding it down right here on WERUradio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride. Let's ride. All that noise, cheering. Y'all ain't singing. Y'all just making that boom, 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 boom. I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, holding it down right here on WERUradio. WERUradio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride, baby. Yes, we are. I'm in here with my beautiful guest, honey, my niece, the one and only Milan Garcon. Hey, Milan.
What's good, Auntie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm finally cooling down.
You cooling down from that walk from Marietta.
Ciao.
Y'all, Marietta is about 15, 20 minutes from here. She talking about she walked from Marietta, girl.
I'm a New York City girl. I walk here.
Oh, yeah, y'all walk.
Oh, yes, we
y'all
down.
walk the subway and walking.
I walk on the subway. I walk to the top part so I can be closer to the stop. Yes.
But listen, Carlos said, I ain't even gonna front. When I saw the notification for Miss Sophia, I saw the first name Milan, and I automatically thought Milan Christopher, LOL. You know, I did that too. Remember when Stasha were here?
Yes.
And she talking about Milan. I said, no, Milan not coming to here. Milan be on there, all that cussing and carrying on and fussing, because I had just watched the YouTube. But him live, honey, he was just going off, talking about him and the boy, talking about he had. I said, oh my God, no, Milan not coming in with all that.
But when I seen it, I I didn't know that you were referring to Milan Christopher. So I'm thinking that you know, like, who they're talking about when they said my name. And I'm like, I'm looking at my sister while I watch it up. I said, sister, I be cussing that much? I be doing all that? And then when you was like, oh, it was like after y'all came back from a break and then you said it again. They was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. So she didn't know. Okay, woo, thank God she won't talk about me. You know, we love you, Milan Christopher, but, you know, girl, we don't talk about the same things.
Yes, but season 2 of Legendary, you've been on season 2 of Legendary, and you doing your podcast. Now, we didn't go into the discussion because I knew we didn't have that much time before we had to go to break to pay some bills. But now you say you do your podcast on what? Your podcast is...
Oh, baby. My podcast is exclusively on Jack'd, so it's always going to come out on Jack'd, you know, the gay dating app. But, you know, they are trying to make it more of a social platform for all queer people. That's what they want to do.
And since it's on Jack'd, is it, like, sexually related, or is it just adult material?
It's definitely... My audience is very... like, no shade, y'all. It'd be like 13 to like 60. And that's fab and all. But it's going to be, anybody can listen to it. It's not solely based on sex. It's not all like just adult content. We talk about everything, but we will go there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we feel free going there. I think it's very easy for me, at least when I'm talking to certain people and part of this conversation, if I know that, you know, we can go there in that space, we probably gonna talk about dating and sex and all of that. Because again, I'm an open book. I feel like all of those things should be talked about just like everything else. So we definitely gonna be some, and I'm very sex positive. Like, you know, I ain't had sex in a long time, but I like talking about it and hearing other people's, you know, interactions and experiences. So, you know, let's talk about it. Let's educate the girls. So yeah, but it is on Jack'd, and that is, you know, they paying the bills, so we love that. So
you get paid for your podcast, of course, but what made you do it on Jack?
So Jack actually reached out to me. It had been some talks for, you know, a few years now, like ways that we could collaborate, because I am an influencer, I am a media personality, and you know, the timing was just perfect when it all happened. I think I kind of held out before because I wanted to make sure that was something that my brand and platform could be aligned with, and that it would make sense for both of us, because we don't want to waste anybody's time, you know. But I think the timing was just perfect, and just seeing what Jack'd has done just on their platform, just to open up, like, it's not really that gendered anymore. I mean, people are going to use it how they're used to using it, but like new people that are coming to the app, they're getting a different experience. So, you know, I'm a part of that experience.
I'm so glad that you brought it up, because you've educated me on it. Because when you say Jack'd, all I think about is people going on Jack'd to pick up.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought of Jack'd being a platform where people can sit down and have discussions about different things that are going on in the world. So it's just like, you've educated me, because, you know, my thing is like, baby, why don't y'all stay off Jack? Because they say y'all meeting up with folks and the people meeting up with you and robbing you and all that stuff. And then you say, well, no, Jack is, you know, just like you two.
Yeah, I think that Jack just saw that. I mean, people are hooking up off Instagram DMs. They hooking up off Twitter. That, you know, Twitter is the... Twitter, late night Twitter. Facebook has the dating, like Facebook has a whole dating app within their app now. So, you know, people are realizing that people are going to do what they want to do on any of these apps. So they need to have those things available. And Jack is realizing, well, if they picking up people wherever they want, you know, because things are just a bit more lax in the social space now, like social internet space, they're like, well, we got to bring some of that to ours, so let's make this more of a social platform. So with them doing that, I say, yeah, let's get it popping. And
it reminds me of Oprah when she first started on network. She was talking about, no, it's going to be the goody two shoe. We're not going to have all that cussing. We're not going to have all that. And then the ratings went coming, and she was like, y'all can cuss.
Yeah, y'all can cuss. Y'all can cut it out. Y'all can do all that. Yeah, cut up.
But yeah, who is somebody that you would love to work with?
Let's see. Somebody that I would love to work with. Well, I would love to shoot with Kelly Rowland, because I think that would be a super dope photo shoot, of course. Because, you know, a lot of people say we look alike, so I would like to put it to the test, you know, see what kind of, you know, images and content we could create. But in media, somebody that I would love to work with, you were somebody that I love to work with, so now I'm here, so I'm gagging. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I'm Sophia. But I'm trying to, somebody that I would love to work with in media. Oh, goodness. I mean, I want to work with all the girls. I think that's what's so hard, but just like a standout person.
A singer.
A singer. Let's see, a singer that I would like to work with. I would like to work with Jasmine Sullivan right now.
Oh,
yeah. Because she's having discussions. She's having talks. She's telling the whole tale. And I'm living for it.
If you could go on an island with one person, with no phone, no television, who would it be for a week?
A week.
No phone, no television, no internet.
No phone, no
just
television, no internet, just me. I would go. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I would go with this boy that I met a few weeks ago because I feel like that would be a fun vacation. It would be. No phone, no text. Like I would pick one of my friends, but we gonna want to post TikToks and stories and all that. We're gonna be annoyed. We don't got no service. But if I'm there with a man, I'm gonna be paying it. So I don't need the phone. I don't need the internet. And that would be. It would be like a. It'd be like our first little vacation, that would be fun. We would definitely find things to do.
Now that you've been on, I'm sure your family, your extended family, all of your family, your immediate family, and your cousins, distant cousins, relatives, aunts, uncles, and grandma, grandpa, all those people, I'm sure they're so proud of you. How is it different now that you have been featured on Legendary with your family?
I've always been the main character in my family. I've always been the superstar. They always told me, like, you are so entertaining. You are an entertainer. Like, I was the one that they put in the middle of the floor and was like, dance. When your mom be like, do the dance. I wasn't one of the kids that said, I'm just, no, I got out there and I did the motherfucking dance. I did what I was supposed to do. So,
you did what needed to be done.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
She wasn't consistent.
Not enough for me. So slip that right on in there. But no, yeah, they always knew I was gunning for the spotlight. So I think they're just so proud of me that it's nice. I kind of hear from them more now because I feel like for a little while when I went to college and when I went to move to New York to live in New York and start my life there, I wasn't necessarily maybe as accessible or visible to them. So it was like, oh, we don't really know what they're doing right now, but they said that they was going to New York to do their thing. But then now that they can see it and they're like, oh, you really did what you said you were going to do. And it's like, I'm back in the spotlight in front of their faces and they give it, yes, do the dance. Okay, I'm going to do the dance.
Oh, I'm here with my girlfriend, the one and only Milan Garcon from the second season of Legendary, honey. We're going to be sitting here shooting the breeze and just conversing.
Yes.
Conversing. Because I don't need nobody to know. I do too. But
now,
they
added it?
Oh,
we love using the new words.
Well, to just clear it all up, we here talking.
Yeah, chit-chatting.
Oh, your girl, Miss Sophia, hold it down right here. We are your radio. We are your radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. I'm here with my girl. This is Milan Garcon. Her dad is a minister, and right now we're just going to pay some respects to the Lord because if it wasn't for the Lord who was on our side, oh my God, where would we be? Do you know what I'm saying? God is good. And all the time.
God is here with me.
Yeah, I was going to say, girl, you didn't come in. I was like, she ain't as saved as she say she is. The DJ Miss Sophia right here. We are your radio. We are your radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. You listen to Chris Brown with Fine China. Child, remember Chris Brown and I, we were sitting around the house, honey, and he looked over at me. He said, girl, you built like Fine China. And I said, boy, stop. And he wrote a song about it, and there you have it. Just gave y'all a little history. Milan, what? Milan Garcon.
Yeah, you're educating me.
You didn't know the history of me and Chris.
No, I didn't.
I don't call him Chris.
Oh, what you call him?
CB.
Oh,
CB.
Very, very quick. You can say it very.
CB.
You can say it quick and quietly. CB.
CB. But yeah, I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, holding down right here on We Are Your Radio. We Are Your Radio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride. I'm here with my very special guest, my niece, the one and only Milan Garcon. Treve.
Garçon.
Treve.
Garçon.
Treve.
Garçon, oh yeah.
Yes, honey. Listen, you all were off the air doing a whole lot of talking. Y'all were talking about pronouns and, adverbs and adjectives and nouns and
conjunction,
subject matter. Yes, honey. So you say your pronouns are?
She and they. Respectfully, my pronouns are open, but, she and they. People be trying it, and it's given, you're not trying it on my time. You're not trying it on the girl.
When did we get here? Because it's just like,
I think like 2017.
My thing is like either she's a she or that's a he or a she. What do you have? What is the question? You look at the person and you see.
But see, for me, like being somebody that's non-binary, I personally don't feel like a he or a she. Now, does my gender identity, am I basing it off of the pronouns that were provided to me as a child or what we can create moving into the future? No, not at all. I am a experience. I am like I'm femme-centered, so I'm always going to be feminine, but I'm not going to pay the masculinity that like is visible and that is within me. It's a very small percentage because, I'm just a little itty bitty thing. But I honestly feel both. And some days I feel more masculine, some days I feel more feminine. And I think that's why my pronouns are very fluid, and that's why they don't really trigger me, because I genuinely feel like I inhabit both spirits, like two-spirited people, back in, Native American. This has always been around. It's always been a thing. I just think that our language wasn't built for people that that weren't just like masculine or just feminine. There are but I'll put it like this. Tomboy has been a term forever. Cis women have been given that term to be able to identify and say, no, I'm not a girly girl. I'm a tomboy. And that's regular. People, they don't realize how much of a pronoun that is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not, but I'm a girl. I don't like makeup. I want to cut my hair off. I want to be with the boys. I want to play sports. I want to wrestle. I want to tackle. I don't want to do anything that society says girls should do. They have been afforded that privilege. So we know we're not getting a whole new term like that. So it's like, well, I'm not he, I'm not she, I'm they. I'm a tom girl. Now, if I walk around saying I'm a tom girl, they're like, you can't be a tom girl, but you got tomboys. And it's like, I'm not about to have that argument with you.
You're onto something. You're teaching us again. Oh, yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah. I hadn't thought about the tomboy thing.
Yes.
But you're so true. It's so true. Listen, when they ask me, they say, what are your pronouns? I say, I am he, him, she, her, them, they.
Yes.
I am all of them, because I'm not offended by whatever. And it's just like, I don't give into that. It's just like, if you decide to call me he, and I have a unit on my head, I have on some lip polish, I'm not offended. If you decide to call me she, and I'm standing in front of you looking like Danny Glover, I'm not offended. But I will tell those people, I said, just because I'm not offended by that, don't assume everybody is as happy-go-lucky as I am when it comes to this kind of stuff. Yeah. You can't get away with it with everybody.
With everybody, no. I feel the exact, like literally what you just explained is how I feel inside. Like, he, she, they. Respectfully. Now, if you're trying me just out of disrespect, that's a completely different conversation that we're having, because you would have found a way to disrespect me anyway, right? Using any words, you know what I'm saying,
right?
But I don't give people that power, because I'm like, it doesn't affect me. But again, that doesn't go for everybody,
right? And it's just like you say, even if I know they're trying to be disrespectful, I laugh. I laugh because it's just like, baby, you cannot hurt me. You can words coming out of your mouth cannot hurt me, because first of all, you only know what you see,
exactly.
And then once I'm out of your presence, you would know how to get in contact with me, how to find me, where I live, who my mama is. You know, the same thing. Like when people was talking about your mama back when I was young, you say something about my mama, baby, I would whoop your ass.
Yeah.
But then when I got older, it's just like people talk about your mama, they don't even know your mama.
They don't know.
They ain't never met your mama. If your mama was standing in their face, honey, they wouldn't even know that's your mama.
Exactly.
So it's just like, child, grow up and let that go, honey. Yeah. But listen, COVID-19 hit. Are you vaccinated?
I am vaccinated. I am. What's the Pfizer?
Pfizer?
I'm a Pfizer girl.
I'm a Pfizer girl too. Oh my God. I'm Pfizer.
Like,
I have a lot of Moderna people out there. But
know,
if you
it's
are
like different.
Johnson & Johnson,
Ooh.
you need to wear your mask.
Two-ply mask.
Because you're not vaccinated. They will experiment, and they're still, trying to get the information so they can come up with the conclusion on if the experiment worked. But seriously, we were out of work for like a year and a half, and then you all were taping the show during right after COVID or in the middle.
It was in the last, we'll say trimester. It was in the last trimester of COVID.
Okay.
And we were filming, and it was a weird space to be in because it was right when the airlines had just opened back up. People had just started flying. Atlanta only had COVID for 2 weeks.
We only had COVID for 2 hours.
Yeah. It didn't last long here. COVID skipped right over. It was like the Passover. They paid it. So we came to Atlanta for Halloween. And that was the first trip. We went to the march. This shirt is actually from the March on Washington.
Oh, okay.
In 2020, we went in D.C. That was the first time me and my sister had literally left the house other than to go to the drugstore, 7-Eleven, or the grocery store because everybody's out of work. We hadn't left the house since March 11th. We lived together. And it was in August for the March on Washington. We went, the Garçons, we got these shirts made. We went in March. We were the largest community organization that showed up that day. And that was the first time we were out, but we were all still very just scared out of our minds. So when we came to Atlanta 2 months later, it was we were partying. So it was we're not wearing our mask in the club and stuff like that. And it was really weird. And so when we went home, we re-quarantined, we did everything, and then I didn't leave again until it was time to go shoot the show in January out in LA. And I'm just freaking out because they have these alternates, and it's if you test positive at any point in the audition process, you're out of it. You are out of it.
Yeah.
So, it was super scary. Flying from New York to California, with 50 masks on my face, it was crazy.
Not 50.
Yeah, I had so many because it was we had to do 2 at-home tests before we went that week. Those turnaround tests had to come up negative, and then you were able to fly. Then once you got to the hotel that we stayed in, you got retested immediately, right before they put you in your hotel room. And then we had to quarantine there for 7 days. So it was just if you contracted it while you were at the airport flying here, we're going to send you right back. So it was just so nerve-wracking. Everything was and then it was if one person from your house catches it while you're there, then your house is out of it for this many balls, or if we're this far in the competition, then you're out of the competition. It was just it was so scary. So it was just on top of being nervous of just going home and performing at your best, being at 100 all the time, you also just had your own fears of, okay, I'm around these people touching my face, these people dressing us. We don't know what everybody's doing. It's everybody staying as safe as they possibly can, or some people just being a little bit lax, thinking it's not that big of a deal. You go through all of those things, and then you're well, I hope none of us catch it, because then we can't perform. It's crazy.
But, you all had to deal with COVID, and one thing that a lot of people didn't anticipate was death. And a lot of the cast members, from different houses and stuff, they had experiences with losing family members and stuff. So it's just what was that like? Because when they experienced that, some people decided to stay, but I think some people decided to leave and go be with family, when it happened.
So the majority of the family deaths that happened throughout the cast was in the beginning. It was when we first got there, we were, I know somebody was literally as we were traveling there, in that time period, that few weeks time period as people were traveling, because everybody didn't come on the same day. During that time period, I know someone's mom had passed, and someone had lost a partner, literally that same time period. And then Egypt, in our house, Egypt's second day in quarantine, which was my third day in quarantine. Egypt got there a day after me. My third day of quarantine, I get a knock on my door, and I don't know who it is. I didn't order room service or nothing, because literally, we never got a hotel room key. It was nothing like that. You had to be quarantined because they had to create a production bubble. So as we were in quarantine, I know that nobody but the cast manager should be knocking on my door, and I know I didn't order nothing. They didn't text me and say that we were going to stop by or anything. So who is this person knocking at my door? But I'm gonna go see because I've been in this room 3 days by myself. So I look and I see that it's my gay mother Egypt, because Egypt is my gay mother, and I'm very good at reading energy from the little glass thing, the little fish hole glass thing. I'm like, let me open up the door, even though I know I'm not supposed to. So now I'm nervous, thinking that my head just goes to, we getting kicked out. We get, whatever it is, it's over. So they paying it. We can talk to each other. So I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And then I just see that Egypt, was very emotional. So I just reach out for a hug, and I'm like, what's wrong? And then that's when Egypt told me that his brother had passed, and that his brother was no longer here. So that happened while we were there. Like, and Egypt's birthday was the very next day. So it was just like, you're happy because it's your birthday. You're happy because you're on this show. But then you have this situation that happens, and it just shifts your whole like mental space. So that was very tough. And after we all completed quarantine, Egypt had to continue going through that by themselves, like stuck in a freaking box, just stuck in a box, walking around. You only got 4 walls and a bathroom, and you have to sit here and like grieve and go through this process in a space that has never been like a thing. Like ain't nobody been in a pandemic before. Unless you've been to jail, you ain't just sat around the same 4 walls for 3, 4, or 5 days and just walked around and paced and not had nothing to do. That's not something that we just sit and do as humans, unless something else is going on. So with Egypt going through that, and then us just being on FaceTime all the time and just trying our best to just be that emotional support for Egypt, it was not draining in a bad way, but it was very draining. Being, like, we're there for a competition show. Like we focus on that, but it's given, we can't focus on that right now. We have to be a family and support Egypt. And as we move forward into shooting, like we first started shooting, a lot of those first days on set was filled with a lot of emotion. That's why, like, even in our first episode when we were introduced, our interview, everybody broke down crying. Because it was like, that was the space we were in,
and we didn't know.
You know what I'm saying? And they didn't. They can't show everything. At that point, it was still 10 houses there, so that everybody getting 30 seconds. Do with it as you please. So they did their best to capture what was going on, and I think they did really capture the emotion. They captured the support. But I mean, behind the scenes, it was like we were grieving with Egypt. It was a situation that we were all going through, and don't none of us have nothing to do. We're all in the room by ourselves, so. We're all walking around our rooms with the same energy, just, hoping Egypt's okay, 2 doors down.
And that's what Stasha and Tonka and them were talking about when they were here. They were talking about all the stuff that you all were dealing with, while y'all were there filming the show. And then they said, y'all sit down for these long hour interviews. And then when they show the show, it's just like a 30-second clip. You're like, girl, what was that?
And they paid us even more. They paid us even, when you go back and you really watch the show, they gave a lot of the other houses a lot more camera time than the Garçons. Why? I will never know. I mean, we look amazing every time we hit the screen, so we are unforgettable. So that's,
how did y'all look?
Amazing. we look like 10s across the board. It's no shade. That's a part of our house values and core. The brand of each individual person matching the brand of the house. That is our. You ask the people in the ballroom scene, and they'll tell you the House of Garçon. They be looking very good, but that's just that. I mean, when you come into the house, you agree to keep yourself together.
Yeah, y'all were breaking a lot of rules. I'm sure y'all were not the only ones. Everybody was breaking the rules because Stasha was Stasha was here, baby. Stasha was baby. Listen, I was on TV, and they were gonna have me look at any kind of way. I would call, I could go to my house and look under such and send me this, and they said it's gonna be $1,000. I got it.
No, but they said that we can get stuff sent to us. It was a lot of different people pull stuff from showrooms. When you know what's going on and you've seen things hit the runway, I'd be like, girl, I know the designer. I know who made that. Kudos to you. You pulled it. We live for that. So, I mean, that was something we were all doing. One thing I did not play, I don't play about my shoes. I wear, my size is very attainable.
We see.
You know what I'm saying? I can walk in the store and leave out with the shoe. I was next day in shoes to me. Oh, Milan, why didn't you ask us? We have shoes. Baby, I seen what's in the back. Love down. I'm going to next day it. It's okay. It was one episode. If you look into one episode where we walked best dressed, all the boys, me, Stasha, we had all got our shoes. We all got our shoes. And Johnny asked on the show, he's like, wait, so you all already have your shoes? You all didn't ask for shoes? And we're like, well, yeah, but we're ballroom. You know, you get yourself together. Everybody gets you have some girls that, you know, have the privilege of, you know, just being a trophy girl, and the house is going to get you together every time. You just show up to the ball. The makeup artist is waiting for you no matter what time you get there.
There it is.
If you give them 5 minutes, they're going to get you together, and you're going to be out there walking your category. But that's not what any of us personally give in our ballroom careers. No, Stasha, everything is done, sewn to her. She comes ready. She do not have a safety pin because she don't need it. Everything is together. You know what I'm saying?
And when I say y'all been breaking all the rules, I'm not talking about just the house of Garçon, because Shannon was talking about how, baby, listen, you're not going to have me looking any kind of way, you know, just because I already know.
They never did my makeup, ever.
Everybody. All the houses that came in here for the show, they're like, baby, listen, we had to do what needed to be done to look the way we wanted to look on this show. Because first of all, they were talking about, we're going to say this, then we're going to go to break. They were talking about how the people who were like the camera operators and the directors and all of that stuff, they are not ballroom people, so they don't know what shot to capture. It's just like when somebody's over here going off, and they got the camera over here on somebody just standing up looking beautiful. It's like, no, you're supposed to capture the mama when they, because this is ballroom.
Yeah. Like what? Like get the people going off. It was so like Simone, and this is the thing, Simone Tishi, this is the injustice that they did to her, because she was not the only person that went off on that set from beginning to end. Multiple houses. I had moments. Multiple people have moments, because we are ballroom girls and we are used to being in control of our image, and we're used to being in control of our performance, in control of everything that we bring to that floor. So when other people that know nothing about your community and your culture come in trying to tell you where to be, how to stand, what to do, and then judge you on that because you have to follow the rules, it's given. No, let me get you together real quick. I'm going to educate you, and then take with that and create your formula. Don't just think we want to capture death drop, death drop, death drop. And I say death drop for a reason, because that's all they know. That's all they know. They don't know that when somebody's on the floor doing a sickening floor performance, just because the other person is dipping 5 times, you need to get that girl on the floor oozing, Miss Thing.
Hello.
They don't understand that.
And then my thing was, and so much for, we're going to say this and go to break. But my thing was, it's just like, there are more categories than Vogue.
In runway. Oh my
God. It's just like, yeah, what's happened to foot and eyewear? What happened to, they got so many different categories. Why does everything have to end up with Vogue?
They could have had so much. Like, they just think it's voguing and then runway and then, let's throw some face in there. But it's like, they really missed the mark.
Yeah,
they missed the mark when it comes to categories.
That's why I want to get Jack in here. But every time I call Jack, he sends me the voicemail. So I'm finna go on social media and blast him. I'm finna do a whole hour on just blasting Jack Mizrahi. And Andre Mizrahi, you can tell Jack that it's on the way.
Jack is the founder of the House of Gucci, the gorgeous Gucci.
In the words of Jack, I'm getting ready to carry. I'm just getting Sophia, hold it down right here. We are your radio. We're your radio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride. We are the home of the urban sound of pride, baby. Yes, we are. I'm in here with my very special guest, my niece, all the way from the House of Garçon, Milan Garcon. Hey, girl.
Hey, Auntie, what's good?
You got it, honey. You are in here. You and George doing the break. Y'all are talking and talking and talking. Got all these conversations going on. These people can't hear these conversations out in Radio Land, but guess what? Welcome to Club Chit Chat's Happy Hour, everybody. That's right, it's Happy Hour. Get your smoke on, get your drink on, get your pills on, get your freak on, get your infused Rice Krispies on, and get your edibles on, because everything is legal right here at Club Chit Chat during our Happy Hour. Yes, ma'am, it is, honey. Hey. Now, George and Milan were talking off the air, and he was asking you about some of the things that, the good, the bad, the ugly that was going on, the show Legendary that we weren't privy to. And you said that the Tiffany Haddish episode, you went off on Tiffany Haddish.
I won't say I went off, but I got her together.
You got her together?
I had to.
And what is getting her together?
Telling her don't talk over my house, mother.
Oh.
I had to pause everything real quick and give. Because, I mean, as you can see, and as they said on the show, she was full. She was having a good time. The judges have cups and,
and then Shannon brought that up, too. Shannon brought it up, and Shannon even said that she feels like Tiffany Haddish owes everybody an apology.
She does. She owes the entire scene an apology for coming and feeling it on our time.
Right, and then it's just like and then Shannon talked about how she was like drinking and was a little full.
No. She was full boots. Like she was full when she got there. And you can even see just like because I look so much deeper into the situation. Like communication is body language, is verbal. It is also mental. Like you can shoot somebody some energy without even changing your body, doing anything. It could be a blink. And like you can tell, like Naomi's energy, she was giving very much. I'm over here in my chair because Miss Thing is carrying. Miss Thing was carrying. She just, by the time it got to the end of the episode, and she had seen everything that she wanted to see, I guess, she had already chosen the people that she, I guess, enjoyed. Because when we came out, a lot of stuff that they don't show, when we came out, and it was time for her to break the tie, because Naomi literally says, well, let's tie it up. Like,
and I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
She said, well, let's tie it up. And, that happens in ballroom, though. Like, you will literally see, it'll be one judge, she's going to tie it because she don't want to.
She don't want to get the heat.
She don't want to catch the heat. She don't want to. I'm not saying that was, Naomi's necessary. That's why she did it, but all I know is that she said, I'm going to tie it up.
But anytime anybody do that, I feel that's what they're doing.
Well, I mean, narratives. But when it got to Tiffany, the way it was more so like she just wanted to break the house of Garçon down. Like, why would y'all be out here? I like them. Y'all need to do what they doing. Y'all didn't do nothing. That was trash. Do y'all want it? And it just kind of really. It was just like, you're just here to put it, like, you're so lit. You're just putting us down. You're not even just, you could just focus on them and say how good they were and just give them your vote.
Hello.
But you are talking to the team that you're not voting for, telling them why you're not voting for them, and nobody asked you. In ballroom, nobody's going to tell you why they didn't vote for you unless you try to storm the panel and you ask, and then they might give it to you.
But to be honest, I don't think she was the only one that did that to the Garçon. I think that it happened a lot. And not just because, Stasha's my friend and blah, 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 but it's just like I felt like you all were supposed to win a couple of challenges that you didn't win. And then it's just like it was obvious because I think, what's his name? Law. He did it to you all one time. He gave you all these wonderful critiques, and it's just like the performance was this and that and da. And then it was just time for him to give y'all a score. And he said, and I'm going to give you all a 9. Yeah. And it's just like that was when you all, should have won that challenge, or y'all would have been tied.
I was in the air. It was 50 Stasha's dancing with Stasha on the stage. The best, like, Tati and Stasha had the same silhouette, and he also mentioned that with Tati's silhouette. And it's like, well, if two girls got on here with this silhouette saying that it was 1920s and 1930s, well, maybe you kind of just didn't see that silhouette when you think of the 20s and 30s era. But clearly it was there because it's not like one person just missed the mark. Now, you have multiple people on here giving you this silhouette. So it clearly must be a silhouette that was in the 20s and 30s. But we were robbed that episode.
But one thing I can say is just when Stasha was here, and then Shannon was here. One thing that they did clear up for us is just like, because we are watching the show at home, you all are doing the show. But one thing that they did clear up for us, they was like, you'll have to remember, it's a show. Yeah. So that a lot of stuff that they're doing has nothing to do with ballroom. It's just what's going to make the best show. Yeah. So they did some stuff for the show.
Absolutely.
And it's like, oh, okay.
If you're a judge, and I know they say, nobody interferes, nobody influences the judges, but if you have an earbud in your ear, and clearly they're telling you something that they can't say over the loudspeaker.
And not only that, I feel like, coming from radio, I feel like there was some payola involved. I feel like there were some contestants or some people from different houses. They already knew where they were lacking, and they'd already, them paid the judges. I don't feel like it was necessarily paid, only because the legals that are involved and see, they always try to talk about, certain people had contracts because they have agents and agencies. I don't boost and put stuff out there, but I do have an entertainment lawyer. I do have an agency. I have somebody that is reading my contracts before I just sign them. I don't just sign anything. I would not. But I'm also not about to read 50 pages of a contract either. So,
you know, my stuff was reviewed, and you can't. It's certain things that you literally can't do now. What people may have done, you will never know.
Yes.
Like you will never know how far somebody went to do whatever they wanted to do. But just me being there, it did sometimes seem like past relationships were influencing certain things and past working relationships, because at the end of the day, we are in 2021, and my hashtag is get the money, friend.
Hello.
Okay.
And we just coming out. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and people haven't been working.
What I'm saying? Like, so the fact that, you know, somebody might be about their bag and go about it certain ways, listen, do you, but it's only going to be one house that wins.
Do you, but don't do me.
Ooh. That was over. Do you, but baby, don't do me.
But I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, holding down right here on WERUradio. WERUradio, we're the home of the urban sound of pride. This next song is called... Let me put my glasses on so I can see. What is the next song, niece? Tell them what I'm getting ready to play.
The next song is...
Top.
And Bottoms.
What's your pronoun?
Okay.
Can I see Garçon? Can I see Milan? Can I see Stasha? Can I see Tonka? Can I see... Hey, welcome to Club Chit Chat with your DJ, Miss Sophia, right here on WERUradio. WERUradio, we're the home of the urban sound of pride. I'm your girl, Miss Sophia. Welcome to Club Chit Chat's happy hour, everybody. My special guest, the one and only, Milan Garcon.
Ooh.
Milan Garcon. Milan.
Yeah.
Garçon.
Yeah.
Milan. We was in here talking off the break, honey, during the break, honey. You know, George, you have any more questions you want to ask? Because you have a whole lot of questions you want to ask off the air. You have, well, what is your question you want to ask? What you want to ask now? Because see, to ask you everything.
Well, you know, one of the questions I was asking you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have. No, what was the question?
Well, we were talking about, because now you've been on Legendary and now your platform.
Because you've been on Legendary and your platform is growing.
I explained to my husband, baby, but I want to see the podcast. I didn't be able to tell my husband why I'm on Jack. I don't want to see he didn't believe that. But anyway, now that you have your podcast on Jack, how is it in the dating world? How do you know that person is stepping to you to date Milan or date Milan before?
Milan from Legendary.
Right.
Dating for, well, I'll start with, I just became okay with dating. Again, I never really went through a dating phase where I've just like went on dates, got to know people, just tried to, you know, really get in tune with what was for me. It was more so in college. I had a boyfriend, then we broke up when we were in college, and then I had another boyfriend in college, and then we broke up like right before I graduated college. And since then, I just haven't gone back into the dating space, and that was when I was 22. So it's been years since I've even thought about dating somebody, and I'm just now okay with like, okay, I might have a little bit of time and energy because I'm a very focused person. Like I'm gonna choose over you every time, and I would prefer to not put anybody in that space or not to come off as selfish or, you know, just using somebody until, you know, I just move on. And it's like I'm not that person. I respect people way too much, so I'm just going to stay away from the dating scene. I'm just going, like, I'm abstinent everything because I will get connected to you. And then I will put my energy, my time and energy into you that I need to be putting into my career and my goals. I will put that into you because it's given. Well, we don't got to be exclusive, but I at least want to have a relationship with you. Like, I'm not necessarily a hookup person. So I'm not just going to leave it at that. And I don't have time for that. And I don't have the energy for that. But now I'm kind of figuring, like, I got a little time. I got a little energy. So let's date. You know? Let's do that.
That cat needs purring.
Shut her.
Listen.
When Milan is looking for whoever, what does that look like? What do they need to bring to the table? I guess you don't want to put it off because she says she didn't tell it all, but they're going to bring it, not really what they bring.
Right.
But just an overview.
But I mean, that's an honest question, and my honest answer is there's no, at least for me right now, because I'm just jumping into the dating pool for the first time in my life. Like in high school, I didn't date. I wasn't out. So like this is the first time that I've like acted on crushes and have actively dated, not just been in a like seen somebody like me. We got in a relationship and then broke up. Like this is my first time. I'm like I'm single and dating, and I need everybody to know I'm single first, dating second. So like being in that space, I don't really have a I don't really have.
You don't have a list.
I don't have a list. I don't have a type. You know, it might develop, it might come, but for right now, it's given. Bring your best of whatever you got.
And you're really operating off energy.
Yes, I operate off energy and intent. I know if you just want to talk to me because of clout, which is like weird because I don't view myself as the type of person to have the clout to give other people clout. So you're gonna be upset with yourself because you're not gonna be able to get no clout off me because I don't know how to give you no clout. I don't know what to do to get you. I don't know. So that's not gonna work. So I'm big on intent, and I can tell I talk too much. I have too many conversations. I'm too into the dialogue, body language, every form of communication that you probably didn't even know that you've been doing. Mm-hmm. I'm too in tune with that for you to get something over my head just because you want to be in a picture with me. It sounds weird to say, but yeah.
I love your personality. I love you, and I'm so glad we had this opportunity to just sit down and just conversate.
Yes,
you and I, honey. And it's just like you talked about you want to do a talk show. And then when I'm with Maddie, T.S. Madison, she talked about she want to do a talk show. And then Laverne Cox want to do a talk show. And I'm like, well, why don't y'all get together?
And you, Angelica Ross.
Angelica Ross, yes. You, Angelica Ross, T.S. Madison, Laverne Cox. That is the talk show.
That is the show. That's the panel I want to see.
I would throw Miss Stagg in there, but I don't think she'll bring it. I think she'll be like,
Ooh. Who you think?
My homegirl.
Who?
One of the producers of Pose. Janet Ma. Yeah. Look.
Auntie, we can't.
See, I told you.
I live for Miss Mock. I've been in the same room with her a few times. I actually interviewed her on the red carpet, and just from interviewing her, I think she would be a fab guest that people always expected to see. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like she would have a place in that space where it's like, you know, those people that always be on the episodes because they speak on a certain topic or like that part of the industry. Yeah, like she could be like a series regular, but I think
what she would bring, I think the dynamic that she would bring to the show is because she was working with the magazine.
Yes.
And it's just like all those connections that she have through that magazine.
She would definitely be center seat. She would be the center seat.
Yeah, so it's just like, and then
that would
with
be fab.
T.S. Madison, because the way she builds her following up from the ground up, and then you, and then Angelica Ross, and Angelica Ross is doing so much right now, and then Laverne Cox. You know, Laverne Cox has opened many doors. Yes. You know, a lot of people looked at her when she first said she wanted to be an actress. I remember Laverne Cox when Laverne Cox was on the show with Diddy's first reality show, Making the Band or whatever, working for Diddy or whatever. And then she was on there and she was like, you know, I want to be an actress. And then she hadn't did all the work and went through the transformation and all that stuff. So it was just like, even I was laughing at Laverne Cox when she said that she wanted to do. But then Laverne Cox made me come back. Baby. And eat that laughed up, honey, because she said, here I am. Now now who is the joke on?
Orange is the new black baby.
Oh, and who's been in I love Beyonce. I love it. Who'd have been in Beyonce's present?
Yeah, Laverne.
And me.
The girl. Now, I'm next. I'm only 4 days away from Beyonce. Our birthdays are 4 days apart. 4 is her favorite number. I'm not saying much. I'm just telling you the real tea.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
But listen, every time George is here, we never get to do the birthdays. So we're supposed to do the birthdays. The first break. The celebrities that are celebrating their birthday today, girl.
Who's celebrating their birthday?
So I don't know, because George here, we don't get to do birthdays when he here. But we're going to go on and let the guests always do our birthdays. Now you see, BOTD. BOTD means born on this day. They're no longer here.
Oh, okay.
That number in the circle, that's what birthday they're celebrating today.
Oh, you want me to say the girls' ages is?
Yes, their age, their name.
Baby.
Yeah, it's all on you. I'm going to sit over here and eat my cracklings.
Not Prince George's 8. All right, so I want to give a happy birthday to Selena Gomez. She's turning a beautiful 29. Girl, still last year in your 20s. Make it cute. Make it count, Miss Thing. Prince George is also celebrating a birthday. That little baby is 8 years old. That is so cute.
How light is his skin?
It's about the lightest this paper I'm holding.
They want to know how. They wanted to know how dark Archie's skin was gonna be. How light is his skin?
Prince George is a nice shade of beige. We love that. Ezekiel Elliott is 26.
Football player.
Oh yes, Breezy is celebrating their 34th birthday. Happy
Rapper
birthday.
Breezy. She was on Empire
Oh, we love
and
that.
Star.
Yes.
Yo, Empire and Star.
Yep, both of them. You know, she love a side bang, a little swoop bang. We love that.
But and speaking of Breezy, she is another one that when I first saw her on Empire, I was like floored because I used to work with her at this club called Scores and a lot of different clubs with the lesbians that I worked with lesbians. She was always the one that was on the show. She was, you know, like lip syncing, pantomime and all that stuff. And then it's just like she was talking about she wanted to be a rapper. She wanted to rap. And baby, when I saw her on that Empire, I was like, oh my God. And then a lead role?
Okay.
Come on, Breezy.
She was eating it, no shade. Shout out to you, Breezy. Happy birthday, baby. Keith Sweat is 60 years old, but maybe you never know it. You can come sweat on over here because it's real hot.
Who gonna be over at his house for his birthday party?
Me.
Nobody. Nobody.
Yo, Keith, I'm coming. Make sure nobody else come. All right now. Nia Riley is turning 32. Oh yes. Danny Glover, the tender age of 75.
That's me, honey. If I take this unit off, everybody say you look like a young Danny Glover.
Yes. Heavy on the young. You gotta put that in. A young Danny Glover, because Danny Glover is turning 75.
Then I told my mama, I told my mom, because even when I'm going through the airport, and then you know, like people of different nationalities, honey, they come up to me, they say, you mind if I say something? You remind me of somebody. They say, anybody ever tell you look like? I say Danny Glover. They say, yes, you look like Danny Glover. And then I tell my mom, I went home and I told my mom, I said, I was at the airport, and they say I look like Danny Glover. Then some people say I look like Danny Glover. She said, well, tell him he ain't your dad.
Oh my God. I'm kidding. All right, George Clinton, happy 80th birthday.
Yeah, get your hair fixed.
Oh, baby. Today's the only day that you need to get it together. We would love to see it. We would love to see it. Send us a picture.
No, he's a legend. He's 80 years old.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's an icon.
Yeah, somebody check on him.
You know what?
Make sure he's still here, honey.
Keyshawn Johnson is turning 49. Yes. When the last time you played a game?
Child, he played football.
No, I know. But when's the last time? Back in the day?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah.
49, honey. He came get down in the kneeling position.
Okay. Oh. Break it down for me. Stevie Johnson is turning 35. Yes. Steven Jackson is turning 38. And Tim Brown is turning 55. The NFL's turning with all these birthdays
all
today.
the birthdays. The NFL usually have all of them, and the NBA.
Yes, absolutely. Oscar de la Renta.
Fashion.
Oh, yes. Fashion. Rest in peace, you icon.
He not dead.
They say BOTD.
His fashion's dead. No. No, because I didn't see nobody featuring his stuff.
This is why you gave me the paper.
I didn't see. No, man, because I didn't see nobody wearing none of his stuff on Legendary.
Well, you know.
No, but seriously, baby, Oscar de la Renta, he is deceased, honey, but his fashions live on.
Yeah.
Baby, the rich white women, they wear that stuff still, honey. The Republicans, that's all they wear. Oscar de la Renta.
Oh. But it's no shade. If you was walking labels, you came up and everything is Oscar de la Renta, I bet the way you say it, because you know it's also the way you say what labels you're. Yes, Oscar de la Renta. My panties.
Oscar de la Renta.
My glasses.
Oscar de la Renta.
My weave.
Oscar de la Renta.
My lotion. You know, it just goes.
Jergens. Johnson.
And last but not least, happy birthday to the music director, Benny Boom. You are right in the middle. It's giving half and half. Happy 50th birthday.
Hello.
Oh, yes.
He worked with Nicki Minaj and a lot of, baby, Benny Boom. Oh, I know he's going to have a nice celebration.
Oh, yes. You're going to have a good old time.
Yes, it has been real.
And it's been fun.
And we have to run. You are awesome. You are so great at this. I want you to get your own show, and your podcast is on Jack.
Yes, it's on Jack, streaming also on Apple Podcasts Amazon Music and Spotify. The pilot is out right now, and the season is coming soon.
All your social media.
Milan Garcon, MILANGARCON.
Now, you're on TikTok.
Oh, yes, Milan Garcon on there, too. And they like me on TikTok.
I can't get with TikTok.
I couldn't either, but they gave me 10K followers in a month. I went viral on TikTok with a video. You know what I figured out on TikTok?
What?
They don't want... They take your wig off, take your lashes off, put on your house clothes, and just key with the people. That's what they want. They don't want quality content. They just want to laugh. They literally just want to laugh. They just want to be with you. It's like this weird space of like constantly just... You can't overpost on TikTok. It's weird.
They want you to be your authentic self.
Yeah.
That's what I do on YouTube.
Okay,
and then it's just like all of the other social media platforms that come along. Like everybody was like, "Oh, you'd be so good. Oh my God, you already have a built-in following, honey. All you got to do is just download the app. You need to go on Bigo. You need to go on Tika. You need to go on TikTok. You need to go on." I was like, "Baby, listen. I'm trying to get to the radio station, and now that the world has opened back up, and I have a little booking every now and then I'm trying to be on YouTube." I said it's hard for me to get on YouTube because I used to go on YouTube every day.
Really?
Every day. When I first started, I used to do it every day, and I used to do the entertainment report on YouTube. Because once I left the other radio station, then I started doing it on my own on YouTube. So then I came over here, and it's just like, it's too much to go on there every day. And then I'm not the type of person that I can get on there and I can get off in 30 minutes or an hour. Yeah. Sometimes I fall asleep on my YouTube, and my hyenas, the laughing hyenas, they just keep the conversation going. I wake up, honey, they still in there. Honey.
In the comments, Ken.
Yeah, and then, Matt is talking about, Sophia, you was on YouTube for 4 hours. You on YouTube for 5 hours. Just like, yeah, that's what we do. We just...
Yeah, we just get on there, key, have a good time, take naps, do the thing. Yeah. Do the girls, too.
So you're here because I'm hosting a pool party, and you're going to be at the pool party tomorrow.
I'm hoeing the pool party.
There comes that Jack, I know.
Oh, yes.
But yes, the pool party is tomorrow, and it's from 8 to 12.
Oh, I thought it said until.
It is going to turn into until. Now, listen, the last time I hosted the pool party, I can get in the water because I had to go to the airport to catch a flight out of here. I had another booking somewhere. I think it was in Jackson or Memphis, one of those. But, baby, I don't leave until Saturday going to Jackson, Mississippi to host a birthday party. So I'm getting in the water. I'm getting in the water. This
going to be in the water. I'm going to put my hair up in the bind, and I'm getting in the water, too.
I'm going to put my hair in a bag.
Make sure that bag is secured, okay? I'm just telling all the boys, don't even speak to me. Just pick me up and throw me in the water. Or pick me up and let's jump in.
Can you swim?
Yeah. Yeah, oh yes, I can swim like a fish.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, I'm a shark in those waters. You better watch out.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I will be swimming below the surface.
I'm telling you, I love me some you, honey. I wish you lived here.
I love you.
You'll be here every day, honey. I have you in here.
I walk from Marietta every day.
Oh my God, a hot mess, honey. But I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, honey. Hold it down right here. We are WERUradio with my special guest, Milan Garcon. I want you to know that Club Chit Chat's Happy Hour has been brought to you by iCode Academy. You resolved to start a new career this year, but you haven't done it yet. What are you waiting for? iCode Academy can set you on a path to a life-changing education or online from the comforts of wherever you are in 9 months. You could be a certified medical coding expert and earn up to $60,000 a year. So why don't you give iCode Academy a call at 866-553-2928. That's 866-553-2928. Or go to iCodesacademy.org. That's iCodes with an S, academy.org. All right. I'm so glad we had this time together. Just to sing a song or share a laugh or two. And before you ever know it, comes the time for us to show it. And we have to say to each other, so long. Listen, I want you to be blessed. I want you to be a blessing. But more importantly, I always want you to be yourself because no one else could be you but you. They can only be a carbon copy of you, but a carbon copy is never better than the original. And you, my laughing hyena, my McIntosh family, my We Are You Radio family, my Manamar, my Beehive, my bars, my divas, my girls, my tennis, my beautiful people, and my flamettes. You are all originals. And until tomorrow, I'm out.